Hello. Today we will be discussing two questions on the leadership of Field Marshal Cariappa. We'll discuss more of these questions in the later episodes. I hope you have seen two videos titled Bio 1 and Bio 2 in this channel. They are a short summary of the biography of Field Marshal Cariappa. Those videos will help you to acquaint you with the life of Field Marshal Cariappa and also help you revise the subject in a very short time frame, uh, somewhere around 50 minutes. So we move on to the first question. Field Marshal Cariappa emphasized the importance of moral character in an officer. Elaborate this with examples. How does it matter today? We'll be discussing this question under four heads: the centrality of the moral character in military leadership, officer conduct beyond the battlefield, mentorship by the morality, why it matters today. So, coming on to the first part, centrality of the moral character in military leadership. Field Marshal K.M. Cariappa, the first Indian Commander in Chief of the Indian Army, repeatedly emphasized that an officer's moral character is the foundation of the leadership. For him, leadership was not just about strategy and tactics, but about the trust an officer builds through the personal integrity, ethical conduct, and unwavering commitment to duty. One of the most famous examples of Cariappa's moral compass comes from the Indo-Pak War of 1947-48. His son, Air Force officer K.C. Cariappa, was shot down and captured by the Pakistani forces. When General Ayub Khan, then a senior Pakistani commander, offered to release his son as a personal favor, Cariappa refused. He said, "He's not different from the other prisoners of war. Treat him just as you would treat any other." This single decision encapsulates what moral character to looks like in a uniform. No nepotism, no special favors, only unwavering fairness. As seen C, Cariappa rejected gifts, favors, and positions of personal benefit. He refused to align himself with any political party and maintained the Indian Army's apolitical and secular character. In a time when the political ideologies could sway military alignments, his firm stance laid the groundwork for a professional and impartial Indian Army. Next part is the officer conduct beyond the battlefield. Cariappa believed that moral authority must be earned, not demanded. He expected officers to be disciplined not only on the parade grounds, but also in messages, social settings, and the personal behavior. He once said, "An officer's reputation is his most valuable decoration." He encouraged young officers to stay away from unethical shortcuts, whether in career product progression, welfare funds, or the assessments. Officers, he believed, must be torchbearers of ethical conduct to command respect and loyalty. Next part is the mentorship by morality. Cariappa often spent time talking to young officers, sharing what it meant to carry oneself with dignity. He discouraged ostentations and emphasized simplicity, punctuality, and humility. Many of his proteges, including future generals, recall how he led by personal example, always impeccably turned out, always punctual, and always honest, even when it meant standing up to the political leadership. So, why it matters today? In today's high pressure environment, where young officers face challenges ranging from the counterinsurgency to social media scrutiny, moral character remains their strongest armor. It ensures that there is trust within the unit. It ensures the resilience during the ethical dilemmas. It ensures legitimacy in civil military relationships, and it ensures long term leadership credibility. So, overall, we see Field Marshal Cariappa, his life was a masterclass in moral leadership. His choices, both in peace and in war, showed that rank earns salute, but character earns loyalty. So we come to the next question. Explain the quote by Field Marshal K.M. Cariappa, which says there is nothing degrading in an officer doing himself when he asks his men. This statement from the Field Marshal K.M. Cariappa encapsulates the principle of leading by example, a foundational tenet of military leadership. For Cariappa, rank was never a reason for entitlement, but a responsibility to inspire and serve. He believed that a leader earns loyalty and respect not by issuing orders from above, but by demonstrating personal commitment to the same standards he expects from his subordinates. We will take examples from his life in the following heads: simplicity in lifestyle, discipline and dress code, conduct in World War II, post independence challenges, the example of his son, which we have discussed earlier also. We will dwell it a little more after this. Simplicity in lifestyle. Despite reaching the highest rank in the Indian Army, Cariappa maintained a simple and disciplined life. He never misused his privileges, lived modestly, and ensured that his personal conduct was above reproach. He often queued up for food with his troops, never demanded special treatment, showing that dignity comes from the actions, not status. Discipline and dress code. Even as a senior officer, Cariappa was particular about turnout and grooming. He would himself in the mirror before stepping out, just as he expected his men to do. He believed that how one carries the uniform reflects the pride in his institution. Cariappa said officers under him knew if they were expected to be on the parade perfectly dressed, so would the general be. Conduct in World War II. During his tenure in Burma in World War II, Cariappa shared trench life with his men, facing the same dangers, eating the same rations, and enduring the same fatigue. He led his troops in active operations and never sought exemption from hardships. His willingness to eat dust with the Jawans made him a beloved leader, and thus his soldiers would follow him into any battlefield. Post independence challenges. After partition, Cariappa was appointed the first Indian commander in chief of the Indian Army. At a time when the communal tensions were high and refugees crisis rampant, he was often seen visiting camps personally, ensuring hygiene and discipline, and even handling logistical issues himself. When local administration, he did not sit behind a desk waiting for reports. He went to the ground, investigated personally, and acted decisively. Then was the example of his son. As mentioned earlier, when his son, an Air Force officer, was taken as POW in Pakistan in the 1947-48 war, Ayub Khan then in the Pakistani military army, offered to release him as a goodwill gesture. Cariappa refused. He is just like any other son of India fighting for nation. Treat him the same. This example not only demonstrates the fairness but of his refusal to accept special favors. The very lesson he expected junior officers to learn duty before self. To conclude, we can say Field Marshal Cariappa's life is a shining embodiment of this code. He showed that a true officer does not hide behind authority, but steps forward to do what is right, even when it is difficult or seemingly beneath his rank. His humility, integrity, and personal courage reinforced a culture where respect was earned, not demanded, and leadership meant doing first, then asking. As soldiers often say with pride, our general does what he expects from us and more. With that, we come to the end of this question answer series. We'll be coming back to you with more of these. Thank you.